I've been a Comcast customer since late September. I've been having problems since October where I've been in contact with their support people time and time again to resolve the same problem with pixelated video and garbled audio and errors on certain channels. And they have been unable to fix the underlying problem. They keep giving me these temporary fixes, and I'm really tired of it. I'm asking for either a credit on my bill retroactive to when this became a serious daily problem in March, or a full restoration of the service, of an actual fix to the problem. And I am encouraging anybody who is a Comcast customer in Northeast Florida to complain and let them know that this is unacceptable. This level of service we're getting, we're paying full price for what's just not worth it. I moved into my current home in mid to late September and almost immediately started having problems with the live TV image being pixelated with garbled audio. It would range from being maybe just a small band of pixelation to the entire screen being pixelated and freezing. Occasionally, it would lead to either the screen just going completely black or to errors. So I have been in contact with them since October, Comcast since October. I've helped them walk through troubleshooting steps on the phone, in chat, DM through Twitter. I've spent an amazing number of hours with them where they will give me like a signal refresh or something that'll fix the problem momentarily, but then within a day or so, it just comes back. I'm on my third cable box. They keep telling me, well, try a new cable box. I just got the last one delivered last week of April, and I'm still having the problem. It's intermittent. There are some days where it might only happen like a couple of times a day, other times where it'll prevent me from being able to watch certain channels. I've also had at least 4, maybe even 5 tech visits like into my home to check my wiring. They check the street level box. On a couple of occasions, they found something wrong with the street level box, and it's like, oh, great, you're going to fix it, and it gets fixed, but my problem is still there. So I also, back in October, posted on a neighborhood app asking if anybody else in my area had been having problems with Comcast, and I got at least 6 responses from different households that have been having problems. So it really feels to me like it's an infrastructure problem. I'm so frustrated because every time I contact them, they go through the same steps that have been proven to just be a temporary fix in the past, and they're just not doing anything to permanently resolve the problem.
Tell me, please, what solution are you looking for? What do you want to get from the company?
Well, I would love a permanent fix to the problem, but I understand that it's probably with the infrastructure, that's probably a very substantial fix. So my alternative is a discount, a credit on my bill retroactive to, I'm asking for retroactive to March 2nd because that's when the problem became really daily. A problem, before that is maybe, several times a week. Since March, it's been daily. So I'm asking for a $15 credit on my bill per month, retroactive to beginning of March, ongoing until they actually fully resolve the problem.
And what are your next steps? What are you going to do next?
Well, I've already filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. I'm hopeful that that might push Comcast to do something about this. Other than that, I feel like my only resolution really is to not renew the contract. I'm under a contract right now, 12-month contract that's up in September. And certainly if they don't fix this issue, then I'm going to have to just end the contract and go with another provider.
How would you rate or how would you comment on their customer service?
It's hard to say. I mean, for what they can do, I think they have been fairly responsive. The people I've talked to on the phone and on Twitter and in chat, I mean, they will, work with me to send signals out to my box, whatever. But the problem is that those are not getting at the root cause. And I don't blame the customer service people because they don't really have control over, the infrastructure or whatever bigger problems there are at play here. So, I mean, I kind of give them a mixed response because on the one hand, they've been responsive for like temporary fixes, but nobody has done anything to make me feel like they're going to put a permanent fix in. They tell me that, well, with the coronavirus situation, it's really difficult. I'm having a hard time buying that argument because number one, this problem goes back to October when I started complaining about it. And secondly, they had somebody come out to my house the last week of April. So this was during the coronavirus. They had somebody come out to my house twice, once to drop off a box and take a quick look, the second time to take a more thorough look. And that person could not fix the problem. So I don't see how, if the coronavirus were not a problem right now, how they would be solving it. It feels like they would still be doing the same thing, sending somebody out, and I would still have no permanent solution. So there's a layer there where it's great for like temporary fixes, the customer service, but in terms of like solving the overall underlying problem, not good at all.
What recommendations would you give to Comcast customers who may use their service in the future?
I would say that if you live in my area in northeastern Florida, don't go with Comcast because obviously they have a problem with their infrastructure. Now, I had Comcast back when I lived in Colorado and I had no problems at all. So I think it really depends on where you live. And right here, they have a serious problem with something in their wiring, and they're not willing to put the money or time into fixing it. Then do not go with Comcast unless you are happy with not being able to watch channels that you want to watch because you keep getting this pixilation problem, and it's very frustrating.
And what about the other 6 people that you contacted? Did they get their issue resolved?
Well, it's interesting. This is actually going back to the issue of customer support. There was kind of a problem there because I had been told by the people I've been talking to with support that if somebody comes out to my house and the problem is not something I could have fixed, that there would be no charge to me. Well, the first person who came out saw that I had a something on my equipment. He's like, "Oh, this is your problem. You have the splitter. I'll remove it, and that's gonna be fine." Like, okay. He left, and literally 20 minutes later, the problem came back. So that obviously did not fix the problem. I immediately contacted Comcast to tell them this, and yet they still charged me $70 for that visit. So I had to go through a lot of hoops to get that money taken off of my bill. So what I heard from the people I contacted on the app, I was like, you guys have really got to say something because unless we all speak up, they're not going to do anything about it. And they're afraid that they're going to get charged because they, you don't really know, are they going to charge me or not? I mean, when I was going through this issue of trying to get this charge removed from my bill, I mean, I called customer support. They told me, we can't do anything about it. I'm like, okay, give me, whoever's next. And they sent me to their escalation department. The person in escalation told me that anytime a tech comes out to your house, there's a $70 charge, anytime. And I kept saying, well, no, that's not what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that if it's, something that I could have fixed, okay, if, tightening my cable or whatever. But she was like, no, anytime. And so there's a real disconnect there between all these other people in customer support are telling me, well, no, that's not the case. And this person in escalation is telling me, yes, it is. And I had to go through a lot of hoops, like I said, with at Comcast Cares on Twitter. I was DMing them many, many times, and they finally were able to remove this fee from my bill. But I can certainly understand why other people are afraid to really, ask for somebody to come out to their house because you just don't know if you're going to get charged or not. And $70 is a lot.
Why did you decide to go public and tell others about the issue?
I think it's extremely unfair the way that Comcast is dealing with this. Their attitude is that they will not give me credits. Their policy is they will not issue credits toward my bill until the issue is resolved, so that then once the issue is resolved, they can kind of calculate how much to credit it. Well, my attitude is, I don't know that you ever are going to resolve this problem because it's obviously a much more serious issue than you've been able to fix before. So to me, that feels like a cop out. Like, that's removing the responsibility from them, because as long as they keep saying, well, we'll try to fix it. I'm meanwhile paying full price and, for compromised service. So it's very frustrating to me that feels like a very unfair business practice, that they are saying, well, we're not going to give you any credits until we resolve it. And at the same time, they're not really taking any steps to permanently resolve this problem. So that just doesn't seem right to me. It feels very unjust. And so I thought, if I put some more attention on this, if I, let people know about this ridiculous business practice, and the fact that I've been dealing with this since October, that maybe that would put enough pressure on them to either permanently resolve the problem or give me credits until they do.